What up, y'all? So, I was looking through fan mail, and yes, I do look through fan mail every now and then.
Oh, so you got like 4 messages?
No, 2 of them.
Oh, my bad.
And one of them, I read it, and I was like, oh, I know the feels.
I know the feel.
And it says, so there's this girl in one of my classes, and I sit next to her. Should I just go and ask her for a number and keep escalating the relationship and make sure she knows I think she's attractive? Or become friends first and get to know her in class, then ask her for her number? What should I do? I don't want to get rejected, and it'll be awkward because I sit right next to her in class and I can't move my seat. I'm in high school.
Dang, I mean, well, first piece of advice that I would say is stop escalating shit, because that is always bad.
Not always. Sometimes escalating is very nice, especially if it's escalating into a warm, moist place.
What does that mean?
Sometimes it's good to escalate into a warm, moist place.
You're fucking weird. Anyway, continue with your shitty
What's
advice.
wrong with warm, moist places?
The only one I could think of is really bad. I mean, well, depends on how you see it.
What is so wrong with the steam room?
My bad.
What were you thinking about, freaking weirdo?
Anyways,
I wanted to say.
did you just miss a clap?
No, I'm not clapping.
Oh, you were like.
No, I was gonna cross my arms, but my face itched, so I went like this.
Fine.
So it was a cross to the face itch.
Okay, fine.
Amateurs.
All right, fine.
Well, anyways, what I wanted to say was, I think one of the first things that you want to focus on at your age, and I wish someone would have told me this, but I don't have any older brothers.
Aww.
So I didn't really have any mentors to tell me this, and I had to learn this on my own freaking 2,000 years later, is don't give a fuck about what other people have to say about what you want to do.
True.
And the reason why I say that is when I was growing up as a kid, I kicked it with a lot of different cliques. I kicked it with a bunch of people that skated, both rollerblades, and also skateboard. I kicked it with some Asian baby thug, AG, AZN, thug, boba, 235 type of people.
Damn.
I also kicked it with some jocks that I played some sports. And I also kicked it with some martial arts kids that I did martial arts with. And
Wow.
yeah, so I actually made a lot of
So
friends
diverse.
with so many different people. But during that late elementary, early junior high period, because everyone was so cliquish and there was almost like Mean Girls where when they see someone and they don't belong.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah, there's this weird judgment. And I felt so restrictive because I was all of that. Like I wished that my Asian thug homies wouldn't find it weird when they saw me riding a skateboard. Or I wished my martial art friends didn't find it weird when I was robbing a house with my Asian. I mean, that is kind of weird but I wish they didn't find it weird when I was like kicking it on the block with those guys, you know? Like I felt like I had to be a person all the time, and I felt like I almost had multiple personality disorder, and I gave too much of a fuck about what other people had to say where I couldn't pursue what I wanted to do. And I felt like when I read the biographies of these really young, like prodigious people like Shaun White, or people who have accomplished so much in such a short amount of time, they had laser tunnel vision. Like,
Yeah.
they just see what they want. They go, snowboard. I just want a snowboard. And then that's all they do. They snowboard all day. I just want a snowboard. And like, I was even reading about Rob Dyrdek, and then he was sponsored when he was like 16 already. And yeah, there's people that are like, he's not the best. There's so many people like Tony Hawk and Rodney Mullen that are way better.
Who cares?
Yeah, but
they
fucking
doing?
Rob Dyrdek has an entire empire, and even what he said, when I was young, I was extremely focused, and in my entire day, all I wanted to do was just think about the next skateboard move that I was gonna learn. So when he was in class, he wasn't paying attention to fucking Christopher Columbus. He was paying attention to, am I gonna land that kickflip tonight? Like, that was what he was thinking about. And he didn't give a fuck what other people had to say. And I think that's really, really important for someone your age, because the people that are giving a fuck and telling you their 2 cents, they're not gonna matter. By the time you're 25, you're not even gonna know 90% of those motherfuckers that gave you those 2 cents. And most of the motherfuckers that are going like, what the hell? Did freaking Jeremiah go talk to that girl and ask her out in the middle of class? What a fucking loser. He is actually insecure, and he just didn't have the balls to ask fucking Samantha out, and you did.
True. I agree with everything you just said.
So I think that's step number one. Don't even give a fuck, because throughout your life you like so many different girls, and don't let giving a fuck hold you back from talking to Bonquisha.
How would you know when you're giving a fuck or not?
Who's giving a fuck? You're giving a fuck?
Let's say I'm Jeremiah. That's what you call the guy?
Yeah, or Geraldo. It can be either of the two.
Alright, let's say I'm Geraldo, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like telling my homies, like, hey, you know what? Stephanie, I think that's what you call her. Stephanie in my class.
Samantha. Bonquisha the third.
Samantha Bonquisha the third is so fucking hot. I think I'm gonna ask her for her number today.
And things are escalating.
And things are escalating in my pants.
Into the steam room.
Into the steam room.
Vagina.
And then they're gonna be like, dude, don't do that. She's gonna reject you, and you're gonna be such a loser. What should you do?
Okay, let's say we go with.
Because that's giving a fuck, right? Like if he reacts and he's like, oh my god, you're right.
Yeah. But let's say we go with the normal kid scenario. He didn't watch his video yet, and he's
right.
and then he's still giving a fuck. Let's say he goes with step number one. Listens to them, and then he doesn't ask her. Guess what? You're not gonna be with
in
fucking Stephanie. You're not gonna be in the steam room with Stephanie Bonquisha the third.
With your escalation pants.
So you're completely at a loss. Let's say you go fuck you to your friends.
Fuck you, friends.
And you go and you talk to her. And let's say she says yes. Awesome. You guys go on a date. Let's say you say fuck you to your friends. You go ask Stephanie Bonquisha the third. She rejects you. Well, guess what? Now you know that she doesn't like you, and you have a concrete decision right in front of you, where you no longer have to wonder, I wonder what's gonna happen. Is it gonna be awkward? Is it gonna be that? Or is it gonna be this? Like, you have concrete evidence. But the thing is, what my point is, you want to actually move in the real world. Yeah. You don't want to live in an imaginary world and think of all the things that are gonna happen, because they never happened. What you want to do is not give a fuck and just pursue what is gonna make you happy, and if that feels like that's what's gonna make you happy, go do it. But my caveat to that is,
ooh, nice word,
is don't do things. Don't be so truthful to the point where you're reckless.
True.
Put in your research. And so putting her in your, like, for example, if you go, I want to tame lions for a living. Don't just
walk up to a lion.
Don't walk up to the lion in the middle of a circus show and go, listen to me, motherfucker! And that fool fucking bites her face off because he doesn't know you yet, and you probably don't have the right clown suit on that he's accustomed to. There's lots of baby steps. And also in terms of courtship, I think one of the biggest baby steps is, like you said, being friends first.
Kind of going back to, kind of just adding to your point number one or whatever.
Yes.
When you say that they don't give a fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
You give the scenarios of, okay, I don't give a fuck. Well, actually, you gave two scenarios. I don't give a fuck. You ask her out and you go into the steam room, your pants escalate or whatever, and you get to date her.
Yeah.
Right. That's one. The second one is, okay, you don't give a fuck. Fuck you, friends. You guys are just haters and you guys are pussies. You guys aren't going to try to get any girl ever because you guys are pussies. And he goes, asks her, and she says no. What's dope about him now at this point when he doesn't give a fuck, if she says no, he doesn't give a fuck. He's gonna be like, shit ain't awkward anyway, because you know why? I don't give a fuck. And it's gonna be so dope because it's like, now you really get to learn who the hell you are.
Yeah.
Because you don't give a fuck. So now it's like no one faces you anymore.
Yeah, of course it's gonna hurt, and it's natural for any time there's rejection, like you're gonna take it personally, but not giving a fuck helps out a lot, because you're gonna realize the more you get rejected by people and the more that you get accepted by other people, it's not so much that you're not up to their standards, it's just that you don't click.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's a ton of hotter guys than me that she rejected.
No way, it's just you, babe.
I'm sure there's a lot of hotter, taller, buffer, smarter guys.
No.
That's true. It doesn't even exist.
No.
Well, that's a bad example.
That's a really bad
Well,
example.
there's a lot of way hotter girls, way skinnier, way smarter girls that I had to turn down. And not because they didn't live up to my standards, but because we just didn't click as well. And so me and Gio, we click.
Now you're stuck with this gremlin next to you.
And I'm stuck with this freaking gremlin next to me, but we click so well that I ain't
even tripping. You know why? Because I don't give a fuck.
I might just have to marry her one day for no reason.
All right, now you're getting too mushy.